Hi there, my name is Jody Watkins. I'm the Wellness and Writing Community Leader for Convene Communities. I'm also the founder of a company called To Be Epic Fitness and Nutrition LLC, where we use science to help people live longer. My military experiences were, oh my goodness, I could literally write a few books just based on my military career. But one of the things that I would love to talk about today is just going into the military. And I think sometimes we don't think about, the people that go in and what their background is. And, looking back now, I was really just a lost soul at that time. Literally 2 months before, I had put my body through a whole lot as far as I had got an abortion. And when I went into the military, I had already been talking to the recruiter, and I never told him, I never disclosed anything. But when I went in, I just kind of put that to the back of my mind, and I never said anything. I already had 3 waivers to come in, and I just didn't want any more stigma on myself. I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want anything to be known. I wanted to hide. I was very ashamed. So that's what happened right before I went into basic training. Before that, I went to college for a little while, and I learned about debt the hard way. I had financial advisors telling me to get student loans, and I realized later that was not a good idea. But we don't get that financial wellness when we're young. For the most part, most of us that, or at least are in my generation, we didn't get it. I think they're getting a little bit better nowadays. But anyway, so when I went into basic training, that's what I had just gone through. And I just needed to get out. Like I was living a life that I really just had not foreseen living. I had got ahead, or so I thought. And then I was just backtracking. And I just didn't feel like that I could do anything. And so I ended up joining the military just to gain some purpose in my life and really just to get out of the situation that I was in. So when I went to basic training, one of the things that I learned about myself is I was really good at playing the game. Okay. And so that's what I used to tell a lot of the airmen, is just like, hey, just play the game, man. This isn't life or death. Well, unless it is, but for the most part, it was just about learning when to shut your mouth and not having to have the last word and everything, learning tact, learning how to gain the respect of your supervision by working hard. But I think when we see new people come in, we never know their story. We never know what they've been through. No one I knew in my basic training flight knew what I had gone through right before basic training. All they knew is I was kind of quiet, and I just butchered my hair, which it didn't look anything like this. I didn't know that, 21 years later, I was going to end up with short hair anyway. But I cut all my hair off, thinking that's what I was supposed to do. When my military ID came out, I looked like a Russian soldier, or so that's what people were saying. But what I will say is this: I was always myself, and I was always very genuine. I always cared about other people, and that allowed me to build some amazing relationships. So at the end of the day, no matter what we're going through, I think it's just important for us to put ourselves around good people, be who we're meant to be, and no matter what the situation, just keep in mind, our situations do not have to control us. The military can be an amazing place to be. It can also be a place where people shut themselves in. I was one of those people who shut myself in because I didn't want any more stigma behind who I was. I didn't say anything to anyone about what I'd gone through right before I went in. My husband now knew when he met me 21 years ago, but that was only because I told him. He was the only person I ever told. I held that guilt for the next 20 years. So when you see people in the military and you think you know who they are, just remember, everybody has a story. Have a blessed one.